Think about breaking up like this. The Cubans and Soviets started triggering revolutions all over South
Okay. All right. So let's begin.
triggering revolutions all over South America. When they got Nicaragua, that's within 50 miles of the Panama Canal. Reagan drew the line at the same. And that's where America was going to win the Cold War.
Okay. To make up for last week's class, I'm going to do an overview of what we did again last week, and we'll see where we can proceed between the time we have left. Sorry for the delay from my own end tonight. I'll work on that against tomorrow class so that I won't have such repeating itself. All right. So that being said, welcome to our Excel for data analytics class. Now, there's one thing I want to say for this particular class. We are not learning basics of Excel as it were. However, we are learning how to make use of Excel for data analysis. Now, for many of us, there are some things that I'll be doing that will be quite that will look quite strange, but over time we are going to pick them up. We'll see concepts that we can talk about, and then you find a way of using them in the future. But this is not Excel tutorial as it were. So there are so many things on Excel we'll not talk about, as we'll focus mainly on the parts that has to do with data analysis. Okay, so that being said, whenever you load your Excel data, it shows up on the interface. Now, to do analysis, you have to be familiar with your tools. Now, those tools, they are found in the ribbon. Now, where is the ribbon? See where we have home, inserts, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. All these things are what we call ribbons. Now, in each ribbon, there are ribbon groups. You can see in the home ribbon, we have the clipboard, the fonts, alignment tools. We have the number formatting. All these are for formatting generally. Then we have this for styling the table. We have this for formatting the cells. If you are working on anything on the cells, we have this. Then if you want to edit maybe some and all that, you can have them. Now, if you look at on your own system, you won't see my tab, neither will you see developer. That's fine. And the reason for that is because I added this to my
because your country is no longer a friend of mine.
I added this to my Excel tab. So there's a way to add them, which we'll look at a later time. Now, we've talked about the ribbons and all that. So before we get started with our analysis, we'll see some basic interface that we need to get used to. And now, if you look at this place, we have highlighted. It's called the name box. Now, in this name box, it tells us the name of the cell where we currently are. Now, what is a cell? A cell is basically where a row and a column meets. Now, please, you need to take notes of the difference between row and column. So in Excel, our row runs from left to right. You see, the ones that are numbered are the rows. You can see where I highlighted now. This is a row. The one I highlighted here too is a row. This is another row. This is another row. This is another. As you see, as it's going down like that, what we have there is a row, or what we have there are rows. Now, from up down, these letters, the ones that have letters A, B, C, D, E, they are called columns. So the ones that run from up to down are the columns. So now we have to take note of this in our data analysis, because sometimes there are things we want to do that affects only the row, and there are times when the things we do affects only the column. So we have to know when we say, okay, do this on the row, you have to know what you are doing. And if you say do this on the column, we have to know where we are supposed to apply that function. Right. So that being said, again, so each cell has a name. For example, if I click on this box now, if you check the name box, we can see A2. That means I'm in column A, row 2. If I click somewhere here now, you can see Q16. So it tells us that I'm in column Q, row 16. That's the name of that cell. All right. Now, the reason why we need to know the name of the cell is because there are some operations we want to perform that requires us to know the name of cells.
8 to 10 years ago. To land of no Flatfield.
So now, we now have our formula box. In this formula bar, you can type in formula, and that formula will be applied to the cell that is selected. Now we are still going to get out into the nitty-gritty of how to use this for our analysis, our aggregations, and all that. So, but just know that we can use this to enter functions that we want to work with. All right. So now let's start with our analysis proper. Now, to do analysis, we always require data, and this data. And please, if I'm too fast, like it was opened last week, please let me know so that I can slow down. Okay, so now, in order to perform an analysis, the first thing we need is our data. Without data, we cannot. This is as good as our data is. So if we don't properly prepare our data, then we cannot have a proper analysis. So this is where this is where we are going to be focusing on cleaning our data. Now, after you've collected your data, the next thing you want to do is that you want to check for your data. You want to check for inconsistencies. You want to check for maybe missing values. You want to check for things that are just not appropriate there, and then fill them up and remove necessary. You can remove unnecessary things from there and maybe extract some information that you need. For example, now I might have a date of birth column, but what I actually need is their age. So, but I will make use of the date of birth to get their age. So things like that are the things we are going to be looking at. So we'll first inspect our data. We look at it visually to see that, okay, these are the things that I actually need to work on. So first of all, if you look at this particular data, you will notice that you can't see some of the headings properly. It seems that they are folded. So you need to start expanding in order to see something like this. Now you have to start expanding in order to see what's there. If you look at this, you have to expand to see what's there. So, but do we have to go through this stress in expanding? No, we don't have to. There's an easier way to get around this. And in order to get around this, the first thing is that you select all. So in order to select all, you press your Control A. Now press Control A from my end. I believe we have our data set opened. So I press Control A. It has selected all for me. So the next thing I want to do now is, remember, what we want to do is to expand it automatically. So where do we go? We go to Cells. We go to Cells. And under Cells, you can see Formats. We click on the format, then Auto Fit column width, because we want it to be wider so that we can see everything at once. Now, so instead of having to manually expand each one, the computer has automatically done that for us. So we've done our first data cleaning here. We've expanded the this is not what I signed up for. The truth is, you need this not to do your analysis properly. Okay, now that we have any other observation from any other person? Okay, so now let's fix that. Let's fix this one that we have here. Let's fix the spacing. Now it says in product name, the spacing is not consistent. And if you look at it properly, the spacing is actually not consistent. So what do? We need to make it consistent. Now, in order to make it consistent, the first thing we want to do is that we want to trim it and remove those extra spaces. Now, there are about 20. You want to perform an operation. So after I press my equal to, now the function that helps us, so we tell the computer that I want to trim. Now, what do you want to trim? It's asking you what we want to trim. So you go to that place. This is what we want to trim. We select it. Now, after selecting it, you close your bracket, then you press enter. Now, if you look at this particular one, it has already trimmed it for, it has automatically trimmed it for us, remove excess spaces and all that. So, but then want to repeat it for everything here. We cannot keep writing equal to trim for everything. So what we just need to do as a way of shortcut is that here you just the first one you did, you select it, then you go to the edge here. You see that my cursor has turned black. Now just double click. Stand. We remove the things we don't want from here, so we now want to replace it. So what you do is that after you've done this, you just press your Control C. You press Control C, that's to copy. Now you now go back to the original one. Now you don't press Control V. If you press Control V, it will scatter what was done before. So what you do is that you now right click. You right click on it. You see this paste? We are not using this one. We use V. You see values. That's what we are going to do. Values. So you click on values. Then it automatically replaces everything that was there before. So once that is done, you press your escape. So we have successfully trimmed this particular column. Any question before we proceed, please? Anyone lost? Questions? So if there is no question, let's move on. All right, so now we've identified one, we've solved it. Now the next thing we want to do is, if you look at live stage, everything is in capital letter, which I believe it should be in uppercase. It should be in uppercase. Only the first letter should be in uppercase. The rest should be in lowercase. So how do we now solve that? We solve that by changing this from uppercase to lowercase. So how do we change all the unnecessary uppercase to lowercase? Very simple. Equal to, as like I told you, in order to use any Excel function, we make use of equal to. So equal to proper. You can see there's what we call help text. This help text already tells you what that function is going to perform. You see, converts a text string to proper case. The first letter in each word in uppercase and all other letters to lowercase. So that tells us that we're actually on the right track. So once you are done, you press your tab. Now, what do we want to convert? We want to convert this. So after this, you close your brackets, you press enter. So you can see it has automatically helped us to do what? To change it to proper case. Instead of everything being in uppercase, each word now starts with a capital letter. So once that is done, as usual, you double click on this. Now we've double clicked on this and it has repeated it for everything. Again, what we want to do, the next thing we want to do is I want to replace the original one. So as usual, your Control C, don't paste directly, just go to the place you want to paste it, then paste. You see values, click on values. That's all. It automatically replaces what was there before. So now that is settled concerning that. So yes, there is one that I would like us to work on, and I would like someone to kindly point out. There is one that is very obvious. I'd like someone to point that out.
The total sales. Some
Total
are in
sales.
decimal point. Yes.
Total
Some
sales
are in
decimal
decimal
points.
point.
Okay,
Yeah.
one. Any other one? Check the heading and check the values under them and see whether there is one that the heading and the values don't seem to tally. Check. You've highlighted total sales. We are going to solve that. Yes. There's still one more.
What about
Yes.
the date?
The date, exactly. Yes. So now, if this is supposed to be dates, we're not supposed to be seeing 4390, right? So what we are going to do is we select that column. Now you see where this number is. We go there, and then you can correct it. Let's use short date and see what happens. You see that it has automatically corrected itself. We can choose to use long dates. It has, so whichever you feel to use, you can use it. So let's use the short date format auto fit. So that's how to correct that. Is that clear, or I need to explain something?
Focus on the Washington Post, New York Times, and the LA Times. Get Richard Zuckerman. The Washington Post, New York.
All right, so let's so we fixed the dates. Now total sales. Now this total sales,
Get Richard Zuckerman.
the total sales for us is actually in terms of dollars.
Focus on the Washington Post, New York Times.
That's why you see it having decimals. So, but then we don't know. So what we want to do is, so that it will not confuse someone else that is actually looking at it, we need to append the dollar sign in front of each one of them, isn't it? So in order to now append the dollar sign in front of each one of them, there are two ways. we can go one after the other and start putting dollar in front. Then I'll go to the next one, I'll put dollar, and I'll do that all through. But that's not an efficient way of doing that. So what we just need to do, select the total, select the whole column. We'll go back to our general also. Now this time around, we'll now go to more number formats.
300 miles away, scoop us. One of the most important stories in the city in what, 20 years? How about you, Rich?
So you go to currency. You go to currency because it's actually money. Then you select the American dollar. You can see naira is there, so we can actually choose naira. If you choose naira, naira will show. So United States dollar. We can maintain one decimal place. Let's maintain one decimal place and okay. You can see what happened. Automatically, it adds dollar to it. So now, when you were asking that, oh, total sales ought to be integer, with this dollar now, you now see that, oh, this total sale is actually price. Do you understand now? So
Yes, sir.
those are the things we do when we are actually doing data analysis. So the data cleaning is very vital for our analysis, and that's why we have to pay utmost attention to the data cleaning part of it. Okay, so now that we have done this, let's still look at the other things we still want to do. How about there is a case where there are duplicate records? We wouldn't want duplicate records, isn't it? We want all our records to be unique. So in case there are duplicate records, there is actually there is a way to handle duplicate records. Now we go to data. Once we go to data, you can see remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. So once we remove the duplicates, now you select, oh, where do I want to remove the duplicate from? Where do you want to remove the duplicate from? So you select all the headers that say okay. So that means if there is a particular information that is repeated across all of these header together in 2 rows, it will delete one of them and keep them. So let's see if there are duplicates. It said one duplicate value is found and removed. So that means probably there was a record that was duplicated. So we have found it and we have removed it. So now the rest are unique records, 264,835 unique values remaining. So that's it about removing duplicates. Okay, so we've removed duplicates. What else can we do? Now, if you look at the product name, you'll notice that at the end there is a product size. You see 175 gram at the back, 150 gram, 210 gram, 175 G, 160, 165, one that, this and that. So how do we now extract this? Because it will not be easy for us to start typing them one after the other. There has to be a way for us to do it. So the only way for us to do is that we'll insert an extra column, and in that column we are going to extract this one from it. So let's get started. Insert a column. It has inserted the column here. Now let's say size. Let's call it size. And the first one is 175 gram. Now notice what will happen. The next one is 150 gram. You see that automatically Excel offers to fill everything for us. This is what is called flash fill. Once you start typing, it will automatically detect the pattern that you are following, and then it will try to fill it for you. So if it does not detect the pattern, you can just press Ctrl and E. It will do that for you. So now we have already filled it. It has filled it automatically for us, but this space is too wide. So we go to Format, then Auto Fit column width. So by itself, it will help us reduce the size. Now that's being said, so let's save our work so that we would not lose it along the way. Please, in case you can't hear me, kindly let me know. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. Now, if you still look at the product name again, you will see that at the beginning, the first word here is the brand. We have natural, we have red, we have green, we have still natural, we have Cheetos, we have Doritos, and all these things. So what we want to do is that we want to extract their brand name from them. We are still going to come back to here to make some adjustments, but we want to first of all extract brand name. So let's insert our column as usual. So we have brand name. So want to remove the brand name from here. Now this is where we want to remove the brand name from. So you click here. Now the meaning of left, that starting from the left hand side, reduce this number of characters. For example, if I let me put something here, 10. Look at it. So it removes the first 10 characters starting from the left. But the dynamics of this thing is that not everything is up to 10. So for example, now if I have to do it for each one, I have to count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I might have to say, okay, left 7. The first 7 letters. Now if I'm going to do it for this, is now going to be equals to left. This, then I'll say 3. And I'll have to do it again, count for green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is not going to be efficient at all for us to do. So always remember, sometimes when you are doing it the hard way, there is always an easier method to do it. So what we want to do is that, okay, so starting from the left of this particular cell, we want to search for empty spaces. We want to search for empty spaces here. So when we search for empty spaces there, it will tell us when we search for empty spaces here, it will break it down and give us the index of where it will tell us that position where this first space is found. For example, if you count this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at position 8, that's where the first space is found. So that means if you remove 1 from it, the first word occupies the first 7 positions there. So the same thing here, the first space here will be found at position 4. So if you remove 1, that means the first word is 3 letters long. So the same thing goes for all. and that's the trick by which we are using to do this. So after you've done the first one, as usual, you don't have to do the rest. Just double click on this and it automatically fills this for you. So format, and then you format and auto fit our column width. Sorry, auto fit column width. Yes. So that being said, we've done. So with this now, I can decide to remove this product name because I don't need it again. From this product name, I've been able to extract the band, and I've also been able to extract the size. So we can delete this. We don't need it. So just delete. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now any questions, please, before we proceed? All right. Okay, so now let's move on to the next thing. A minute, please. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to look at inconsistent colon names. I want to look at names that don't look, from the look of things, we can't really say that, okay, this is how they are. So now the next thing I want to do is to filter. I want to learn how to filter.
No, sorry, please excuse me.
What
That
you say?
size. Please, I want to ask a question. That
Okay.
size. There's this 135 grams sweet pot sea salt. Which will be using those options methods.
Yes, we are still going to come there.
Okay.
We are still going to come there, but that's part of what we want to do now. So sometimes our data can be very much. Do you get that? We need to want to check what are the unique values in each one of them.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So now this is where filter comes in. All you just need to do is to go to you see this editing under the home ribbon. You have your editing. Just go to sort and filter. Then we can filter. So once you click the filter, it will automatically help you to filter the heading. Do you get it? So from here now, we can now see, it can also help us to, the way it works is this. Let's look at brand name. These are the unique brand names. These are the unique brand names in the system. You understand? Now that doesn't mean that all the brand names occur only once. Let's look at it now. I want to select just burger alone. Let's see. Burger occurs like 1,500 times in the whole system. So if you can also inspect to see CCs, they also occur 4,000 times and others. So these things are just unique values that helps us. This filter helps us to check and then select based on what we want to do. All right. So now, once you look at the brand name, once you explore the brand name, you see that some brand names are actually not. Some brand names are actually not consistent. So I'm going to unselect some. So I'm going to select some, Now, if you look at this, look at if you look at there is infusions. If you look at these two, you see that one should be the two of them are the same, but um one looks more like an abbreviation of the other, making it look like there are two different brands. Do you understand? Let's identify them. So we have infusions and this also. So that means what we want to now are cleaning is that we want to do it correctly. You understand? Now let's look at again. If we still keep going down, you see that there is Woolworths, there is WW. So this Woolworths is still the same thing as this WW. So we want to change WW. We want to change it back to what? We want to change it back to Woolworths. Now, if you look at it, Sunbite is represented as SMBTS. So now we have Smiths, we have Smiths, we have Smiths. We have Dorito, we have Doritos. So now all these things are making them look like they are different brands, but in actual fact they are the same brand. So we have to now correct that. So all these things are part of the things we do in our data cleaning. You just I'm matching because I want it to so I'm matching case because I want it to match exactly this. You know, we have Dorito and we have Doritos. So if I go and want to change this, want to append S to this one. So if I go and find this now, only this without matching the case, it will find everything that has Dorito in it and add S. So the one that had one S initially will now have double S. That's why I'm finding this. So let's see. Let me search here. Oh, coming. Okay, still giving us that of the coming. Not here. So Control F. I'm trying to check something. Right, let me do this. So let's change it from here. All right. So now here, what I want to do, the reason why um I was searching and it was not showing is because what I have here originally is the reason why it was not showing is because what I have originally here is the formula and not the values. So as I was searching, it was searching the product name instead of searching the brand name. So that's why we had the issue we had the other time. So now I want to fix that so that when we are searching, it will search directly from the brand name. So I'm going to do something now. I'll copy this. Copy now.